Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you've been well. I'm here with Nick and we're talking about this 3rd gen 4Runner. If you didn't see it yet, we just did a walk around on my friend Brad's Tacoma, so that'll be linked up above or just the previous video to this. And this is a 4Runner that's been seen on my channel here and there on camping trips and whatnot. The 3rd gen OD 4Runner, and people have been asking me to do a walk around of this truck forever. This is the one that people really want because it's kind of more of a budget build. So for all of you guys just been waiting for a budget build, this is that. So Nick is a longtime friend of mine back from college days, and he's actually the guy that's running the mountain bike channel we started. So I'll link that up here if you're into mountain biking at all, or just want to follow along on some of our stuff. Nick will be running that. Get subscribed. And this is his 4Runner. Nick also, just like Brad, ironically, works with me at the web shop Rehab Creative and works for me making holsters, moonlighting. So that's kind of what he does.
Yeah, we're all very well connected in each other. Yeah, so this is my 97 3rd gen 4Runner.
It is the same year, actually, as my Land Cruiser, 97.
So yeah, this is my 4Runner. I picked it up, used obviously, a couple years ago. I got it for $4 grand, which was a decent price for the stuff it already had done to it. The motor does have like 300K on it, which the dude claimed that at some point a previous owner had rebuilt it, but no proof of that, so who knows. It runs great. Smog's fine, passes emissions and all that, but it seems to run great. So yeah, I grabbed it for $4,000. I did have to do some mechanical stuff when I first got it. I had to replace the rear brakes completely. It had rear axle bearings, and that was about it as far as mechanical maintenance. It came with the bumper. I'm not actually sure which bumper this is. I've tried finding the same one. Haven't been able to find it. In the bumper, I threw on some really, really cheap LED lights from Amazon, which I think these cost me like $6 a while ago. Now it looks like they're 25, but still pretty cheap. And they work great on the trail at night. So when I bought it, it was kind of this aqua blue color that had been, the previous owners had like spray painted areas and just sanded areas. It was in pretty rough shape. I knew I was going to change the color anyways, and I always wanted to try Plastidipping a car. I had, sprayed stuff with the Plastidipped, just spray paint. Wheels, all my wheels usually has Plastidipped, emblems, things like that, but I never dipped a whole car. So I went to dipyourcar.com. They have a whole self dipping kit you could buy. This is the tactical green color, so it's basically OD.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost a mix between Sage and OD.
Took me about a whole day. You do basically a bunch of primer coats, and then you do the color coats. There's some spots where it definitely comes out a little rough if you're not spraying at a level or even.
Yeah, whenever you're trying to spray downward, because I Plastidipped my Subaru, whenever you're trying to spray downward is kind of the hardest part to get even.
Right, yeah, so the roof is really bad, but no one's gonna see that, so that's all right. So yeah, when I bought the runner, it came with these 33s. Did have a little 2.5-3 inch spacer lift that was on it before, and the ride was super rough. I mean, it's like really harsh. Going over any little bumps was pretty bad.
And it didn't articulate very well.
Wheeling wasn't great. I got Toy Tech springs, 3-inch springs. Anyways, they're Toy Tech iBox springs, and then the shocks are actually Bilstein 5100s, which are really made for a FJ Cruiser, but they work on the 3rd gen 4Runners, and they work really well with those coils. If you Google search Toy Tech coils with 5100 Bilsteins, you should find basically the lift. You can buy pretty much a pre-built kit from Toy Tech. With Toy Tech springs, you can also get it from Old Man Emu with those springs.
I'll grab some links from Nick and put them down below for some of this stuff.
The rear coils are also Toy Tech coils. They're the Superflex coils. And yeah, I think it gave me about 3.5 inches. They've settled in a bit since then. And the ride is much improved. As I was installing the lift, both sway bars, I basically sheared off the connecting rods, so I don't have any sway bars on it at all now, which makes the ride a lot smoother and comfier, plusher. And then it also does articulate or flex a little bit better on the trail, but it gives you a decent amount of body roll on the road, so it's a little scary. But I take it pretty easy driving this thing, and it's really slow. Even though it does have the V6, it's just with 33s, it's pretty much a dog coming up the mountains. Yeah, so on the top, I have this rack that I bought on Amazon. I think it was like 60, 70 bucks. I'll get the link for you guys. And it's actually, I mounted it upside down to make it more flush. You're supposed to mount it flipped so it would really sit on top of the crossbars, which would give it more strength, but I've only thrown pretty light bags, camping bags and camping equipment up there, and it's worked fine for that. To have a shovel now, sometimes run a high lift up there on the other side. This one's got the 3.4 V6 that are supposed to be great motors. They're supposed to pretty much run forever. And like I said, this thing has over 300,000 miles on it, still running strong, but it doesn't have the most power, especially with the bigger tires. Gas mileage isn't too bad though. This isn't my daily driver. I do have just a little car commuter that I drive mostly. This is just to come up to the mountains, camp, carry my bike, which I've been driving a lot more now since we're doing more of that. And COVID, it's mostly just outdoor activities, so we're getting out a lot more. All right, so the interior is in pretty rough shape. Seats aren't really bad, but you can tell it's definitely worn and seen some miles and some time. Being a over 20-year-old car, you can kind of expect that. But it is a 5-speed. All the Toyotas and 4-wheel drive trucks I've had in the past have always been manuals, and I like it. Really like having a little more control over what gear you're in, things like that. So I also have a ham radio setup. Mine is just a handheld that I have plugged into the cigarette lighter.
Nick's actually a certified ham guy as well. We went and took the test on the same day and both basically studied the night before.
Yeah, so we got our ham certification. So I have this actually goes back to an antenna that I can throw up on the top to get better range, but without the antenna on top, it still gets pretty decent range.
So we mostly use the hams for just trail comms. So he has the little handheld running to a magnetic antenna that he throws on the roof.
I'm a ground tender, so I just throw my tent in the back, all my supplies in the back, my dog in the back, hence all the white hair. She's basically like a walking cloud. And yeah, I fill up this back area pretty good. I also have some, cheap Amazon rubber mats I put in here.
But with seats folded down, you got a fair bit of room back here, huh?
Yeah, I could fit my bike in there. Pretty tight, but it does fit in there.
Did you add this dope emblem on here?
I think it came on there.
Oh, nice. Nice. Your 49er sticker isn't on here anymore, huh?
No, I got the 49ers emblem though.
Oh, yeah. So Nick is a serious 49ers fan. He's from California, though, but you can feel free to chime in and either cheer him on or ridicule him. Cool. So that was Nick's 4Runner. Cool rig that goes to show that you don't need to put a ton of money into something to, hit most of the trails and stuff like that. I think there's a couple things that Nick ideally would like to do. Usually if we go out in our trucks, we both have rear lockers, and occasionally that becomes the limiting factor for Nick to easily go up apart or not be able to when we're kind of going up.
Lose traction pretty easily.
Yeah, so with independent front and no locker, some stuff, depending on what it is, might benefit from a locker. But yeah, how much you put into this whole thing?
Yes, I bought it for $4,000. I put probably another $3,000 in the dip, the lift, maintenance, just mechanical repairs, little odds and ends. But overall, still pretty budget.
Nice. So that is it. If you have any questions about it, feel free to leave them down below and I'll do my best to get them answered. Again, Nick is who's going to be running the mountain bike channel. So if you want more of him and me and biking stuff, definitely check that out up here. But hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, comment down below, and as always, get subscribed to the channel if you can. All right, take care.